Joining us first on the program tonight is someone who's been extremely outspoken on this issue. Lok Sabha MP from the Trinamool Congress, Mahua Moitra, joins us. Well, Mahua Moitra, I really have no words left anymore. First we had Bilkis Bano, now we have this, DERA chief. And as you pointed out in a tweet this morning, he's putting out a music video while he's on parole. I mean, this goes against every tenant out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, you see, parole and furlough are statutory rights granted to convicts by provisions of the Penal Code as part of a reformatory process. This is kind of aimed at humanizing the sentencing process. It's to enable the convict to maintain continuity with family life, with family matters, and to save the prisoner from the evils of continuous prison life. Now, it is not meant for increasing a circle of influence which allowed you to commit the crime in the first place. What is this rape Baba in for? This rape Rahim, I call him. I don't call him Ram Rahim. I call him rape Rahim. This rape Rahim, what is he in for? He's in for the rape of two women that he's raped, and his circle of influence was exactly this. By saying he's a god man, by holding these satsang, and for two murders. Please note, he's in for murder and for rape. And, when you see him now, he was granted parole nidhi, and I'm sure you've got this in front of you, but it's important that everyone know. He was granted parole for one day to meet his ailing mother.
Yeah.
I completely understand. That's okay. Again, granted parole 2021 for one day to greet his ailing mother. All okay. What happens after that? February 22, he's granted 21 days furlough to meet his family. But this is around the time of the Punjab elections. June 22, he's granted a 30-day parole, which is 2 days before the Haryana municipal elections. Now on 15th of October, he's been granted a 40-day parole with an assembly bypoll in Adhampur in Haryana and assembly elections in Himachal. Now, what has he done? He's gone out. The first thing he's done is an online satsang. You are given parole to be with your family to help you as part of a reformatory process, not to increase your influence as a god man that allowed you to commit rape and murder in the first place. And he's done a music video which has got 80 lakh likes. I don't even want to comment on what is so wrong with this country because we all know what is so wrong in this country. What I'm talking about is at least let us have a process of law that stops this kind of nonsense.
As you said, codified parole legislation is what India needs.
Yes.
You pointed out that that's something the US and the UK have and India does not. In other words, then you would actually have a system in place, right? Where you're not giving people parole for random reasons coinciding with elections.
See, the problem is these are purely executive privileges of the state governments. So what happens? Like you've seen in Bilkis, the Gujarat government decides they want to do it, they do it. There's nothing you can do. So parole, furlough, remission, all are executive privileges, right? They're not judicial privileges, they're executive privileges. It's not a court of law that is doing it. So same here. So any state government, for example, any BJP government now that's got a state election come up, and the BJP is very clear. They are against rape. When they say they're against rape, but they're clearly not against rapists. They say they're against murder, but they're not against murderers. So this is the issue. How can you release Bilkis's rapists? How can you release Ram Rahim? You have a BJP mayor of Karnal go there and call him Pitaji. And tell this Pitaji, we are waiting for you to come to Karnal where you can come and spread the Vani. I mean, Nidhi, what is going on? And we have the Prime Minister do all these histrionics from the ramparts of the Red Fort, saying this Vikrit Manasikata and all this kind of nonsense that, Indians should stop thinking of women like this and viewing women like this. What kind of nonsense are you propagating by allowing this over and over again?
I just want to know, Mahua Moitra, we also have Priyanka Chaturvedi, Member of Parliament of the Shiv Sena, joining us. I just want to ask, because both of you are women MPs here, and if we could get Priyanka up as well, is this something that we can, maybe cutting across party lines, see being raised in Parliament in a big way, particularly by MPs like yourselves? Mahua, to you first, and then I'll take that question to Priyanka Chaturvedi as well.
Known as cutting across party lines. There's nothing knows. Priyanka shout in the Rajya Sabha, I'll shout in the Lok Sabha. That will be the end of that. You will have however many BJP MPs they have, when something like as ridiculous and nonsensical as Rashtra Patni come up, you'll have all this Saas Bahu brigade stand up and point their fingers and, do all of these natak in Parliament. When it comes to something as important as Bilkis, zip. Something as important as Ram Rahim, zip. So those days of cutting across party lines and standing for justice and standing for the sorority and standing for sisterhood and standing for women are long gone. The BJP has taken the rule of law and taken, I think, all sort of gender parameters and thrown it out the window. So I am under no such misconception that we will come into parliament and you will have the BJP ladies come in and support us. Nothing of the sort is going to happen. Priyanka will shout in the Rajya Sabha, I will shout in the Lok Sabha, 3 channels will cover us and 30 vote. That unfortunately is what it is.
Priyanka Chaturvedi, do you agree that, has it come to that where even raising your voice in parliament now doesn't count for much?
No, raising our voice in the parliament will count for what we stand for sure. But I totally agree with Mahua in terms of cutting across political party lines and even their alliance partners, even those who are neutral, supposedly neutral, but support the government will also not stand up. So it is a very unfortunate situation to be in. And why should just the women parliamentarians speak up on this? It should concern every single male parliamentarian too, that we have a situation where convicted rapists are outside and are doing their pravachans, they are doing their satsangs, they are releasing music videos, they are being celebrated in Gujarat, and we have those who are victims of such attacks, victims who have fought this entire battle on their own and on their own belief and conviction that they will get justice, today stand denied of justice. And that is the unfortunate reality of this country today. And every person should be speaking up, not just members of parliament, not just the MLAs. It should be every single citizen of this country. It could impact their homes. It could impact how justice system works in this country.
Can I ask both
and it
of you
agitates
this?
me every time I speak about it.
Can I ask both of you this? Just one more question before Mahua has to go. First to you, Priyanka, that doesn't it worry you that obviously these things are happening because certain political parties feel that this actually helps them in elections? The fact that Mr. Ram Rahim gets 85 lakh views on YouTube, right, after being convicted for rape, etc. Isn't that very disturbing to you that they think that this may actually work?
It is extremely disturbing, distressing as well that today we are heading towards a society where law doesn't prevail, where justice is something which is denied to women who have fought their battle through the worst case scenario as well. And all I can say is that I hope the government of India steps in and, like Mahua suggested in her tweet, that we take this entire situation out of the hands of the state government and at their discretion, and there should be some kind of codes that are put in place to ensure that justice is, at least seems to be applied in cases such as this. Here we are totally flouting norms. We have BJP representatives being part of such, celebrations as well as part of the satsangs, etc. It just flies in the face of everything that we have been taught as far as justice for women is concerned and equality and empowerment is concerned. It also exposes the hypocrisy of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We do this every single day, but we aren't seeing anybody rise up to the occasion and outrage as much as is needed.
Mahua Moitra, last comment from you on that. What I asked Priyanka as well, the fact that does this get traction amongst voters?
Yes, I think this is also necessary because, we have to come a full circle where, normal people, the BJP didn't win on the vote of the extreme right wing alone. They won on the vote of a large portion of the Hindu middle class who were sick of what they called the Congress's elitist policies of 2G, of this and that, for whatever reason. And they believed in something and they voted for this. Now, those are the voters which need to swing. Those are the voters. The extreme right is never going to swing. They're always going to be drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's not get into that. But this great mass of middle class voters who voted for the BJP, they have to realize this. And such things have to happen for them to realize it. They have to realize when Bilkis happens and the Gujarat government lets them out and the union minister comes out and said, oh, it's okay. They have to see when a man like this is being used to campaign. They have to see where exactly and what is the lowest common denominator of the BJP. And I think this is all part of that Shuddhikaran process. This is all part of that Samudra Manthan before the BJP goes. So I'm actually looking at it like that. I want everyone to see BJP in its utter nakedness. I want them to see India to see the BJP in its ugliest nakedness, because that's the only way that people are going to wake up. It may take 5 years, it may take 10 years, but that's it, because the Prime Minister spouting lies from the ramparts of the Red Fort isn't going to do anything. They need to see the Ram Rahims, they need to see the Bilkis's convicts being felicitated, and they need to ask themselves, is this part of an India we need to belong to?
I think what is disturbing as well, Mahua, thanks very much for joining us.